Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News starts now.
As the ballots continue to trickle in, we have the latest numbers for the County Board of Supervisors and a look at who is leading the race.
And county voters had a choice to make about medicinal marijuana on Super Tuesday. We'll tell you how two different measures may have gone up in smoke.
Good morning and thanks for joining us for 23 ABC News at 6 a.m. on this Wednesday. I'm Danielle Kernkamp.
I'm Mike Hart. Glad you're here. Let's bring in CHP Officer Robert Rodriguez standing by live with a look at your roadways. Robert.
Thank you very much, Mike. Good morning, everyone. Here through Bakersfield, we do have one injury crash working right now. That's going to be out in the Lamont area off of Buena Vista Boulevard, about 2 miles or so west of Weed Patch Highway. It looks like a solo vehicle rollover crash there. Not affecting the roadway, but you will see some activity there off the roadway. And then those of you who are making your travels out of town again right now, everything's looking really nice for your getaway Wednesday. Never know, through the middle of the week. Elena, that's my look at traffic. We'll send it to you.
One could hope. Wouldn't that be nice to be heading out on vacation right now? So I want the record to reflect Danielle was correct. These are the last couple mornings that we're going to have such beautiful early morning light on our roof camera this morning. Look at that sunrise out there. Just some high wispy clouds, and those high clouds continue for the next couple afternoons. But we were talking about 15 minutes ago about the time change because we're springing forward on Sunday. So on Saturday, the last of regular time, the sun comes up about 6:15, sets about 6 p.m. But then after we spring forward that hour on Sunday, the sun doesn't come up until 7:15 officially, but it stays up until about 7 p.m. So a lot of people excited to see that light later in the day. With that, we're pretty calm and quiet for our weather. We have plenty of sunshine now that the sun is coming up, and it's going to help to warm us up. So these are our morning lows with those 30s in Delano, 40s here in the heart of the valley, but still holding on to the 50s in Taft and Maricopa. And watch this rise up to those low 80s this afternoon. That's 15 degrees above average. Could get close to breaking some records at the end of the week. More on that and your weekend forecast with daylight saving time coming up.
This morning, the county elections office will continue to count votes and verify ballots following Super Tuesday. Mary Bedard with the Registrar of Voters tells 23 they saw a steady stream of voters on Tuesday at polling locations all over the county. Now comes the task of verifying, counting, and certifying this election.
Really, there's been nothing really out of the ordinary that we haven't seen in past elections. And again, we've got volunteers out at the polls, so we have teams of people in here that can answer questions if anything comes up out of the polls. So it really ran rather smoothly.
Bedard went on to say the only votes that were expected to be counted Tuesday night into this morning were votes that were cast at polling sites. She said that vote by mail, conditional, and provisional ballots will be counted over the next few days.
And as Kern County residents made their way to polling places to vote for candidates and measures, there were a couple of marijuana-related measures on the county ballot. With 657 precincts reporting in full, right now Measure D, 60% of voters against and 40% for it. Kern County also voted against Measure E, with 58% against and 42% for.
3 seats on the Board of Supervisors were also in play on Tuesday.
23 ABC's Daniela Garrido joins us in studio with a look at the early lead for those coveted seats. Daniela.
The Kern County Elections Office still needs to count vote by mail, provisional, and conditional ballots, but according to votes counted overnight, the seats of Supervisors District 1, District 4, and District 5 appear to be decided.
3 Kern County Board of Supervisors seats were up for grabs on Super Tuesday voting. While votes have not been finalized, it seems Kern County has made its decision for those positions. For the District 1 seat, Philip Peters leads with 52% of the votes against his 2 opponents.
You know, the last few years I've been working for Supervisor Mick Gleason, so I've had a lot of experience, the issues that the 1st District's facing, so I think it's going to be a pretty seamless transition. We're just going to be able to hit the ground running on day one. I've got the relationships in place, so we're just going to start getting in there and doing what we can to keep Kern County great.
In District 5, incumbent Leticia Perez, who has held the position for 7 years, is leading with 58% of the votes against 4 opponents.
You know, our work hasn't stopped. We're always working hard for the 5th District and Kern County and zipping all over the state to make sure we're on the cutting edge of best practices and making sure we're employing evidence-based solutions.
Perez has been under controversy during her tenure for conflict of interest and has has been criticized for her approach to the homeless issue in the district, which includes downtown Bakersfield.
Homelessness has always been concentrated in the 5th District, unfortunately. It's been one of the great challenges of the 5th District, so there's nothing new there. The low barrier shelter, of course, is the answer to that in a more holistic approach that's realistic about the needs of the homeless and the realities of the homeless.
The District 4 seat appears to be the closest race for Board of Supervisors seats, with David Couch leading with 61% of the votes against Emilio Huerta at 43% of the votes.
And I'm appreciative of the results we've seen so far. Hopefully it holds. You never know with all this ballot harvesting nonsense that goes on. But thank you guys for being here tonight, and thank you to the people of the 4th District for showing their support so far. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Huerta's residency in Delano has been part of the controversy during his race for the District 4 position.
People know me. They knew me when I was a child growing up in Delano. They knew me when I was representing. You know, I'm a resident of Kern County first and foremost. I just happen to live in Delano and represent Delano and all the other farm worker communities.
In California, voters are able to send mail-in ballots up to 3 days after Election Day, so it could be weeks before final votes are tallied. But if results stay the way they are, there won't be another race for the Kern County Board of Supervisors seats in November. Live in studio, I'm Daniela Garrido, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
There were a handful of measures and one proposition on the ballot impacting Kern County. Prop 13, of course, the state measure that provided billions of dollars in bond money for public education facilities, looks to be failing. Right now, unofficial results with 87% of the precincts reporting, just over 56% of voters saying no to those bonds.
And now a look at some of the local measures on the ballot. We're taking a look at measures A and C, which have to do with public schools in Wasco. The Wasco Union High School District is asking for $38.9 million in bonds to upgrade facilities. Right now, as you can see, it's a very narrow race for Measure A. 50.43% are for the bond and 49.57% against it. Measure C is a bond issue for Wasco Union School District, asking for $16 million. If passed, it would be spent in 3 parts, which would include building a new administration office and bus unloading zone and upgrade other facilities. Right now, Kern County Elections Office is reporting all 13 precincts, 49% voting no and 51% voting yes.
And Measure B, of course, the $30 million bond to benefit 3 schools in the McFarland School District. 55% of voters needed to vote yes for it to pass. Right now, with 100% of the precincts reporting, now this is unofficial, voters leaning in favor of it. 59% for, 41% against.
In other local news, 2 suspects have been arrested for the murder of a man found with multiple stab wounds in central Bakersfield back in January. Police arrested 47-year-old Luis Bell and 45-year-old Dylan Bell at a home off Water Street Tuesday. Police say the suspects were arrested for murder and conspiracy for the murder of Dante Lee. Lee was found on 30th Street suffering from multiple stab wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Further investigation led to the arrests of Luis and Dylan Bell. They're currently booked into the county jail.
And overnight, a crash involving 3 vehicles brought traffic to a standstill on the 178 near Beale Avenue. Several law enforcement agencies and fire crews were on scene to get that cleared up. The crash happened just after 1:30 and the highway was closed for a period of time. The extent of injuries this morning is still unknown. The CHP continues that investigation.
Your commute might be getting a little easier soon. The city of Bakersfield said on Twitter that starting tonight, the California Avenue loop on ramp to northbound 99 will be back open. It's been closed, as you know, as part of the Bakersfield 99 rehab project. That ramp set to open back up tonight in time for your commute tomorrow morning. Definitely a very heavily used ramp, so we're excited about that.